Smoke out the pound, I'm chillin'. Trappin', I made it.
Going on, One Reason family. Every fighter has a story, not just about the wins, but the journey and the process that it takes to get there. Today we're sitting down with Kaan Ofli, the one and only.
I'ma get down to the gritty, then fuck up the city, the home of the villains. Ecstasy, wonderful feeling. Smoke out the pound, I'm chillin'.
Just coming off a big win against Ramos in Brazil, and we're here to talk about the grind, the setbacks, the comebacks, everything about it, and how it was for him, and what it's like post-fight, and what it took to actually get to where he was. Kaan, first off, congrats on the big win in Brazil.
Thank you.
You were far from home, man, very far from home. What was it like when you were in that cage?
To be honest, there was definitely some nerves, going through me. It was a big fight, a big step up against a veteran, going into enemy territory. And as we know, Brazil is one of the meccas of the fighting world.
Absolutely.
And as we know, that the fans really get behind their guys, so...
it was loud in that arena, man. Not in your favour.
No, definitely wasn't. I had friends and people would say to me, hey, be prepared for it, but you can't prepare for 20,000 Brazilians saying kill him.
Absolutely.
So crazy experience. The confidence comes from the preparation. I really locked in for this fight. Really took away a lot of distractions and just put the work in, bro. I knew a lot was riding on this fight. I knew that I had to make a statement, and I really wanted to finish him, and I did.
You did a beautiful job of that. I'll tell you that much, bro. It was just amazing to see, man.
Thank you.
And especially for someone like that, who he had it over you for submission. He is amazing at grappling as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just overcame that. So it was really nice to see, man. So Kaan, everyone talks about the highlight reels, the wins, but not many people talk about the losses. Can you tell us a bit about, what it took to get there to where you are today, and how it made you the man that you are today as well, Yeah, because life isn't always about wins. Sometimes you're going to lose. It's just about how you take it and how you react to it,
Definitely. Look, I've had a lot of losses in my life before I even experienced losses in fighting.
Yeah.
So, I've had a lot of experience in life, I believe. And yeah, look, we're all going to lose at some point, if it's fighting, if it's business, whatever it is. But it's not the losses. I see every loss as an opportunity to learn. And, I think that's the key. I think don't be afraid to make mistakes, but be afraid to make the same mistake twice.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that a lot. Well, they say that don't be afraid of the man that always wins. Be afraid of the man that always fails.
Nice.
That was something that stuck with me a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you don't experience the high if you're never at the low.
Yes.
Like you don't know the difference.
No.
So,
it goes hand in hand. You have to experience the hardship, for you to come out on top and experience the good. So, I was on a bit of a tear, in the Australian scene, and I hadn't lost in 8 years. So my Ultimate Fighter finale fight was the first fight that I experienced in 8 years. So it was a very unfamiliar feeling to me. And subconsciously, it definitely did affect me, I made sure that I learned from them lessons, and, I did a massive, 12, 13-week training camp in city kickboxing against the fight against Naimov. And I believe I made sure that I learned from them lessons. Still didn't come away with that win against Naimov, but everyone could see that there was something, holding me back, and it was something a bit more mental.
Yeah.
And I learned from that fight too. I lost that fight by decision, and I learned from that fight, and I said, okay, well, there's something here where I'm holding back.
Yeah.
And I made sure going into the fight with Ramos that there was no holding back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It definitely translates into the fight,
Yeah.
Which is good. So our brand, One Reason, our main focus is that we try and resonate with, that hustler's mentality, the grind, the grit, the wins, the losses, everything in between, right? So what does that mean to you personally, that mentality, and what keeps you going in those moments where, you're in the gym alone, you're training alone, you really get in your head, and your tough training camps and everything leading up to it. What does that mentality mean to you personally?
That mentality is everything. I've had a work ethic from a young age. I don't know where I got it from. Maybe it was through, the hardships that I had early on through, domestic violence and poverty and all that stuff. Maybe I gained that skill through that, where I almost transferred my trauma and my hardships into work ethic. I was just like, and if it was, I was a bricklayer at 16, I was working like a machine, and any job, anything that I did, I put 100% into. And looking back at it, sometimes I feel like maybe I was using it as a distraction, but in a positive way.
Yeah.
And
I guess that's like the fire, that's the fuel to your fire.
Definitely, definitely.
I think a lot of people use that as well, the trauma, what they've been through, and that does reflect on the type of person that they become.
Yes.
It either amplifies you being, a better person, or it keeps you stuck.
Yes.
And I think you've used that well, man, because you are where you are today because of it.
Thank you. And I've been around the world. I've trained with a lot of different people, and that quote where they say, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't show up, really, really resonates with me. And I believe I fit into that category where maybe I'm talented. I don't know. Maybe I'm not I believe I'm not actually super talented, but I have that work ethic. I'm a workhorse. I'm in the gym when people aren't in the gym. I make sure that I'm early, first to get there, last to leave. And I believe that mentality and that work ethic will pay off.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
There's that famous story about Kobe Bryant, where he was the first in the gym and the last, and he was just doing bucket after bucket after bucket. And he was that guy.
It truly pays off, bro. And it's the work that no one sees, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where your own confidence comes in too. There was fights where I would just go out and do that extra run at a crazy time, or do that extra session, just because I knew that, the guy I'm fighting is a professional too. He's probably going to be doing that 1 or 2 sessions a day, but is he doing that third one? Is he sleeping early, or is he doing this, is he doing that? Maybe he is, I don't know, but I'm going to make sure I do all them little things, them 1%ers, and by the time that fight time comes, that adds to the confidence.
100%. So that last fight in Brazil, that one looked personal. What did that one mean to you? Was it something that you were trying to prove to yourself, or was it something that you were trying to prove to the world? Showing the world something new. What Kaan's about nowadays?
Maybe a little bit of both. There was something personal for me, because I had that first loss in 8 years, and I've sacrificed so much to get to this point. I've sacrificed birthdays, parties, friendship. I've sacrificed so much to get to where I am now. So
sorry to cut you off, though. Some people just don't get that.
Yeah.
Some people are going to look at you and be like, why? There's more to life than that. But everyone's got their reason, man.
Yes.
Everyone's definitely got their reasoning and their purpose. And
yes.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. No, that's okay. So it took a lot to get to here. So for me, I knew that this fight was really important for me to get a win in a statement type of way. And also, I believe a lot of my new fans, I've only seen my Ultimate Fighter or my UFC fights, but may have not seen my previous fights, may have not seen that Genghis in my previous fights where I've come out and only wanted to finish and hurt people. So I had to remind people, and, another big reason was, my newborn, my son.
Yeah.
He was definitely a new motivation for me that I've never had going into a fight. So I knew that I had just left him. I knew that he would be watching this back one day. So not only for me, but it was for the fans and for my family too, that I had to make a statement.
Yeah, definitely. I guess that was just another one of your purposes, especially having a kid. They say that when you have a kid, it changes the whole perspective to life.
Yes.
As well. And it's amazing to hear that, man.
Well, that was my issue with the Ultimate Fighter. So I did the tournament. I went to Vegas, fought twice in the house, got to the finals, and I was like, cool, I'm in the UFC. Mad. All that work, all that sacrifice, I'm here. And it was like this huge sense of relief, bro. It was like this weight that come off my back. But I hadn't changed the goalpost. I didn't change. The mission was always UFC.
Yeah.
And I got UFC.
Yeah.
But then I didn't change the mission and the goal in my head. And it was very subconscious to me, bro. Like, I'm not saying that I didn't train harder after that, or like I slacked or anything like that, but it was just like a small little fire that was missing. And I believe it was that.
Yeah.
You know, naturally now, you know, I've changed the goalposts and I wanna fight for the title. I wanna, you know, in the next couple of fights, I wanna fight someone that's in the top 10 and start climbing the ranks straight away. You know, I'm in my prime right now, so there's no time, like there's no, I don't want to waste any more time. You know, I want to fight the best and get close to that belt. And my son naturally makes a purpose change too. Now I'm fighting for a cause.
I love that, bro. I love that a lot. It's an amazing mission, man.
Thank you, bro.
I can't wait to see all that, bro.
Thank you.
So coming off of that win, you know, how does Kaan Ofli stay hungry? What's next for him? You know, what are we going to see next from you?
Yes. Technically, I guess I kind of got to finally experience my first win in the UFC. So definitely motivated about that. And yeah, so rumored that UFC is coming to Australia again in the new year. So I've already spoken to UFC matchmakers and they said if that happens, then I'll most likely be on that card.
Wow, that would be sick to see, bro.
Yeah.
And
so,
the energy there would be amazing.
Of course,
bro.
you know,
in your hometown.
I told him actually after the fight, you know, I went up cage side and to Mick Maynard that was there. I was like, hey, like I haven't had a chance to fight in Australia yet, you know, like give me a shot in Australia. And he's like, no worries, I'll let the guys know. So I'm back to training, bro. I'm getting ready, you know. It'll be another long training camp, but locked in for that date. Fight in Sydney, in my hometown, and come away with another massive win.
I love to hear that, man. I mean, like, we all can't wait to see that as well. And yeah, man, all the best. Thank you for your time today, brother. We appreciate it. Paid in full. Kaan Ofli, guys.
Smoke out the pound when I'm chillin'. When I made me a killer. Look, I got everybody wishing.